Good morning, South Florida.
And welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Grab your coffee as we brew up the talk of the day.
From the latest scoop around town
to feel-good stories and messages of hope.
A few jokes and live calling.
Highlighting local businesses.
Discussing hot trends and news stories.
A dash of feel-good nostalgia.
I love those morning cartoons.
Keeping up with upcoming events.
Sometimes trying and delicious foods.
Weekly horoscope updates.
An occasional flying duck.
Some sparkle dust.
Don't forget my bell.
And my wand.
With our brew crew laughing on set.
So grab your coffee, your bagel, donut, or any breakfast as we get you up and ready for the rest of your day.
And don't leave us hanging. Give us a follow, comment live, or call right into the show at 888-994-4995. Studio B.
Whether it's a tip of the day or just to say good morning, we'd love to hear from you.
From Amp Media Production Studio, it's
the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Dawn, where's the snooze button?
Freddie, it's time to get up. We got a show to do. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Hang tight, guys. Pressing the snooze one more time.
And it's time to do a show.
Morning time, snooze button.
Welcome.
It's nowhere.
To the morning show. Oh, all of a sudden now you can hear me, huh?
Oh.
Also, your headphones are working. We changed boards today. And over there is another board that come 2 o'clock I'm taking down. But if you need anything on that computer that was there, there's the board.
I hear a sound.
What sound?
Like
I don't know why.
Anyway, happy Monday to you. I feel a little encumbered here. I got all kinds of equipment and stuff and things. And
Hold on a second.
Encumbered. Anyway, I know. It's been a long weekend. Josh, we're not going to talk about baseball because we're going to let you grieve on your own.
Why grieve?
Good?
No, yeah. I was surprised that they even made it.
That's right.
Oh,
They weren't
okay.
even supposed to be there.
We weren't even supposed to be in the playoffs because we made the 6th seed, and that's a new addition to baseball.
They
So
wouldn't have even been in the
Oh, so you're
playoffs
okay. All right,
last
good.
year, right?
Anyway, then we're all good. If he's good, then we good.
And the funny thing is that the Astros, I guess they had a point to prove that they are the best team, have been the best team the last 3 or 4 years.
I could care less about Houston. I'm glad Dusty Baker won.
Dusty Baker puts his pencil down in the final out. He picks it up and he writes fly out to right field. He didn't realize the game was over. That tells you I think it's time for Dusty to
All
go.
I know is I was just when you're falling asleep and you don't even realize you're asleep, but you're asleep, Chuck goes, the Astros won the World Series. I'm like, really? You had to wake me up for that. But I wasn't sure if it was real or if I was just dreaming that. But then I saw that and I thought of you, Josh. I'm like, oh, poor Josh.
And he said, go ahead, play it. You're going to play it,
That
play
was
it.
so loud.
What you got? You got sound effects for
It's a
us?
sound effect.
But they're way too loud. Hold on, give me a second.
turn the speaker up then.
I'm getting there.
You got
And the
that?
funny thing is that Texas, Katie from Texas, she must be happy that
I don't think she really cares.
she
You
cares.
care, Katie?
Even John Cena
These
cares.
things are difficult.
So how was everyone's weekend? Happy Monday. You and I spent Saturday here. Then you came back yesterday to set some things up for us,
Yes.
which is why we're a little late and a little changing a little bit of equipment around here. But we doing what we do.
There's some adjustments that we are working on,
Yes.
but it's not a big deal. It's just a matter of learning the equipment again and just going forward and making it
I
happen.
gotta tell you, just when we change the equipment, you change the equipment again.
And I'm about to change
Am I
it
right?
again.
And then he changes it again, and it's always everyone in here is shaking their head that just keep changing the
You know,
equipment.
television studio has a certain look. You ain't seen nothing yet. It's a certain look. When you walk in, you want. Do you know that the way television works is that they intimidate you when you walk in, not to scare you, but to intimidate you because there can only be one boss on a set.
I heard they do that in the makeup chair.
What?
I heard they do that in the makeup chair. Like some of the TV personalities, when the guests come and have their makeup done, their makeup is toned down because the host's makeup has to be, just what I heard.
No, that's not
But
true.
we don't have makeup chairs here, so no one has to worry about it.
That's not true. NBC has a makeup studio, and everybody gets treated the same.
But we don't have makeup chairs. Anyway,
Some people need more makeup than others. That's all.
we got a lot going on here. What else you got? How was your weekend?
My week was good. My week was good. I
Your
spent
weekend
it
was
here.
I know.
My Jets won, even though Mr. Sports over here is not impressed. Impressive win against a very good team. It's funny, when you beat a good team, they tanked. When you lose to a good team, you expect it. So somewhere in between all of that,
Dolphins won.
yeah, who cares?
Hurricanes. I'm so sorry. My U, they're having a hard time this year.
They stink. Who'd they lose to? Really?
Yeah.
45-3.
It was
Why
bad.
they even show up? They should have just
And it was
conceded.
home. And it was home.
I don't know why you keep saying Miami's not a good team.
They used to be a good team, and it
Used
was
to be like 20
home.
years ago.
Anyway.
Who else? Who else won? Oh, Georgia won. Alabama lost.
Really?
LSU beat.
Alabama's lost a couple lately, huh?
No, they dropped to what, 15th now? It's the first time in their history they're below the 10th mark. The first time ever.
Interesting.
Saban is about to have a heart attack on the sidelines. You should see him running up and down the sidelines, throwing his helmet. Dummy.
I was watching something over the weekend that apparently now the culture has changed that it is okay for men to cry.
Yeah, I saw that on
Did
Sunday.
you see that?
That's just stupid.
Why?
Because men can cry whenever they want.
But I don't think, well, they can, but I don't know, maybe outwardly not as acceptable. It is now, but back in the day when I was growing up, men didn't cry.
That's because every woman that says that doesn't realize or doesn't acknowledge that sports exist. Because the man will
Exactly,
cry
yes.
when their home team loses. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't crying. He's not going to say he was.
Yes, Chuck tells me that.
I cried when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. It was right before they won it. When Brandon Graham got the strip sack off Tom Brady, I knew the Eagles won it, and that's when I started crying.
I started to cry when I went to the bookie and he paid me $2,000 because the Eagles won. I was like, I'm so happy.
Yeah, apparently men seem to cry over sports and
Money.
politics.
No, money. Politics.
I could care less about politics.
Politics.
Sports. Anyone vote?
I have it in the car. I got to drop it off somewhere.
Yeah, I'll be late tomorrow, by the way.
Gonna
I
vote?
don't know how I'm going to get it. I guess my passport will work as
Yes.
a usable ID? Okay.
Either that or they arrest you.
They said,
Ah.
yes, your passport will work as usable. Your school ID also will work if you still have that.
I got my high school ID.
No, I don't think that works anymore. That was 10 years ago.
No, I got my high school ID, and then I got my sample ballot, and they both got my name on it, so.
What about the ballots? Can I
Ooh,
turn
you
it
have
in?
Berlin one.
Yes, I turned mine in on Saturday.
Can I turn it in today?
You just have to drop it off, or you can drop it off tomorrow. You can't mail it anymore. I think
No,
it's
no,
too late
drop
to
it
mail
off in a box. I just got to find a box. Now, the biggest news of the weekend. $1.93 billion.
tonight. Here's what I don't understand. I keep playing.
It's the Powerball.
I don't
number.
get any of the numbers. Not even more than one in a line. How is that
I
mathematically
got 0.
possible?
It is the Powerball number is why nobody's winning. What was the last number?
I don't know.
2?
I don't understand how we keep playing and we keep not winning.
You know it's going to pop this tonight. It's going to happen tonight. It has to. They waited till after the World Series.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
You have to go.
let's go.
Because they waited till all the activities. The World Series is now over. The Mets just signed their relief pitcher. You see the money he got? The guy you always play the music
Use
to.
your mic.
$102
Use your mic.
million. Oh, no,
What's the
120
strategy?
million over
What
5
strategy
years.
are we going to be doing on Powerball?
Winning strategy.
Computer pick?
You gotta let Sarah spiritual thing happen. You gotta meditate, and you'll hear a number come in your head.
Let's do it.
We did that the last time. It didn't work too well.
We got to do it with Sally
Military got
Spiritual.
2 numbers, but he didn't get a Powerball.
The Sally spiritual thing. That's what you got to do.
Maybe we can ask her, like, what's the Powerball numbers this show? Yeah.
Definitely, let's do it.
I think we should ask the people who watch us. Give us the Powerball. Give us your favorite number. Play your favorite, and you have a favorite number?
12.
17.
4.
But Harrelson,
13.
Fernandez,
13,
every
Taylor
pitcher I
Swift's
know.
lucky number. Bam.
3.
7.
Now you've given everyone our lucky numbers. And if you're listening, you can go play those numbers. Or we can all just put them all and play them together.
Hey, listen, I don't care if 100 people
What would
hit.
you do? What would you do if you win Powerball?
I would shut production down for a day. I don't care who it is.
Just a day? And then you're going to go pick up the furniture, bring it over?
No. And then I would sit here and contemplate what I'm going to do. You know, you can't say what you're going to do.
You have
because
no idea.
You have no idea. What that kind of money is in another zone. I mean, you're looking at a stadium full of dollars. A stadium full of dollars. What would you do?
They
How
were
do you
saying
attack
they were
that?
measuring with like this tall building in Manhattan. They were saying if you layer the $100 bills to the top of this skyscraper and then you do another 100 skyscrapers on top of it, it still does not equate to the money in $100 bills.
It's almost $2 billion.
But you don't get that much, right? Taxes are what, about 60%?
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
get 60%. You get 40% of the money.
So
You have 40% of the money. You can handle that though. What's 40% of, say, $2 billion? You got to round
500
up.
500 million?
It's too early for this.
Is that 500 million?
Man, anything
If
over.
train A and train B leave the station at the same time, but train A veers off, ever remember those questions in
Yes,
math? You go,
yes.
why would
And
I
you know
ever
what
have
I
to
wrote?
do that?
You know what I wrote? I would take train C.
I knew you were going to say that.
That's what I would take. But my goodness gracious, $2 billion. First of all, I wouldn't tell anybody I won. Because if I did that, everybody and their mother would be at the door.
100%.
You remember when you were 3 and I bought you a cookie?
100%. But I'm glad you're here. You weren't supposed to be here today, but thank you
Maybe I
to
wasn't supposed to be here.
our government system and small business owners that you were
I
here,
was supposed to be here. I was just excused for the time being.
which is good.
Yeah.
Which is really good. Thanksgiving is around the corner, and we've got lots of things. I spent my weekend watching Hallmark Christmas because nobody dies, nobody breaks up,
Yep.
nobody cries. There's always a Christmas miracle at the end of the movie. I watched it so much that I watched them again. But I thought of you on Network TV because you know what? It's just content that plays 24/7.
Yes, that's what
And you can watch
television
it
is.
again and again.
What?
The same movie can be on at
Oh,
3
Ion
o'clock
does that.
today, but it may be on at 5 o'clock tomorrow.
Ion does that. I hate that.
Hallmark Channel does the same thing.
I don't like that. I don't like
But
it.
you know, when you get up and you come back, you're like, oh, I missed that part. You get to watch it again another day.
You know what I got to
The
watch
Christmas Miracle,
over the weekend?
Mhm.
A movie the CCC, Triple C, suggested.
which is,
You know the Triple C is a nurse. You guys know that, right?
yes.
By trade, that is his trade. He's redoing his license.
What?
The Good Nurse.
Oh, I heard that's not so good, though.
It's a true story. It happened in New York. It's a true story. I'm going to tell you, the beginning was a little slow, but my goodness gracious, it is scary. Scary.
I heard about it. The name kind of fools you that it's a he, right? The nurse is a man.
It's a nurse. Yeah, man. I'm not going to tell you the movie because it's really...
It's a movie or a show?
It's a movie.
Okay.
And The Good Nurse is... it's very
Apparently,
interesting.
that's what's trending these days. I don't know if anyone have seen it. It's a trending
Have you
movie.
seen it? Check it out. It's a good
Any
movie.
good movies? Anyone do anything big this week? I know you were getting over or not feeling well.
There really isn't any good movies right now.
There's a new one out. Steven Spielberg's coming out with a new movie. Which is why I do not like these microphones.
Just talking
About his life story.
I saw that. I saw that Steven Spielberg has a story about himself with his parents in the car and all that. The Floggers, the Fiddlers,
The Feynmans or something
Feynmans
like
or
that.
something
Yeah.
like that.
It's
And-
interesting. Can you imagine what it was like being, one point he was a little boy, right? Had dreams of becoming a film producer and what it took to do it and envision it in a time when there was no film school that everyone's going to be a film director. It's kind of cool. And I think about you guys. I think about Aaron, who used to make Lego movies all the time. If he actually became a major film producer, you look back and go, wow, remember when you took the stroller and you put the camera on it and you wheeled it across the backyard and you got that scene, that shot of what it took for him
But
to
it's
get
not
where
only
he
the
is.
shot, it's the movie itself. Looking for Private Ryan. I mean, the movie's Alien. Alien? I mean, it's a puppet, a giant-headed puppet. And the thing goes ballistic.
It's pretty cool. And I think, wow, to actually have the vision to say, this is what I want to do, and go out and do it, and go out and do it successfully, and the doubts that his dad had. You spent how much on that camera?
Again, I don't think it's the equipment. I think it's the timing of what he puts together.
No, I meant his story. At some point, I mean, everyone has
But
little
that's a
kids.
true story.
Hopes and dreams of what you want. What do you want to be when you grow up? And if you actually achieve what you think you want to be successfully, then it's interesting to look back on all the steps it took to get you there. And
What-
then I think, would you guys remember when you become successful, like back when growing up? Wow, I wanted to do this, and this was my first animation that I drew. Or this was the first camera shot that I did to be able to put this movie together.
Do you guys, do you have to, I think it was somewhere in like elementary school, we had to fill out something and it was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? So everyone had all these like really great answers.
What'd you write?
So there was this place, this frozen yogurt place.
Frozen
Swirl.
yogurt. You wanted to be a yogurt?
Okay, I
Ice
was
cream?
young. I didn't know what I wanted to do. But there was this place called Swirl. It was my favorite yogurt place. Frozen
Swirl?
yogurt place. Swirl.
Oh, swirl. Okay.
So I said I want to be as a frozen yogurt worker at Swirl.
That's good. Anyone else? What do you want to be when you grow up?
Did she say she wanted to be a
I
frozen yogurt?
think back then I said I wanted to be an archaeologist, and it's because I liked Indiana Jones. Yeah.
My son named his dog Indiana.
Right. I saw him.
Yep. Anyone else?
Because of the movie?
Because of Indiana Jones.
Now it isn't the
Kaylee?
movie. It isn't the movie you like. It's the adventure. Yes.
Mhm.
It's the adventure of going out and digging bones up, and a dinosaur comes and attacks you.
Well, look at King Tut. I didn't realize his tomb was found 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it in New
Very
York when they
recent.
brought it over.
100 years ago. That was before all the technology that we have now and sonar and all the things that you can actually hear and pick up vibrations. However, this archaeologist found it intact. I mean, think about that find.
I was a child.
100 years ago.
I was a child. I
We
think I
weren't
was
born
like
yet.
12 when they brought it over to New York.
Oh, yeah.
And my mother stood on that line with me for 4.5 hours. And when I got up there, I said, Mom, what next? Yeah. And I see, whoop, that's all. Okay, next.
When you think about how you think about history and people who question history, I told you this about the Middle East. So much history happened in this one location of the world,
Yes.
and there are artifacts there for people who don't believe that need to see it. I mean, it's there, and it's under layers and layers and layers, and things have built up on it. I mean, the temple, the Dome of the Rock, the mosque. Everything is there. This that they found 100. I mean, that's amazing. What changed your mind?
Well, actually, no, nothing, because I kind of still want to do archaeology. It's just interesting to me, history and artifacts.
You
But
do film archaeology, like excavations, and film it and
Mhm.
produce it.
yeah, I could. It just turns out that I've been writing longer than that, so I just happen to fall into writing more. But I would definitely be an archaeologist if writing didn't fall through.
That's amazing.
The hardest part of archaeology is, number one, how do you get started? Number
Mhm.
two, you got to find a grant program, somebody who's doing it, right? And number three, you got to sacrifice yourself
Yeah,
Because-
it's like away from family all the time.
away from family.
Mm.
Forget about that. What about you wanting to have a family? What about you
Mhm.
wanting to have a legacy? All of that has to be put on hold.
Why is it different than any other business? or
Because when
career?
you're in the desert or wherever the hell you're on a mountain doing these digs, you may find an archaeologist you fall in love with, but you're not going to have time to have children yet. You got to put it on hold. So everything in your life becomes a hold pattern. And this is what scares people away from that business. I know that because I dated an archaeologist.
Of course
Whoa.
you did.
And she said to me, it was nice knowing you after a month. I said, what did I do wrong? She said, you didn't do anything wrong, but I got to go. Like, she went to the Sinai or whatever the hell she went to.
I think it's amazing. I think artifacts that people that they find in the Middle East that had been written in the Bible, that are biblically written down, that they're there. That to me
Everything is there.
is remarkable. So people who refute things. Oh, speaking of refuting, what about what's going on in sports and anti-Semitism and hate and the Holocaust? All of
Kirby
that came
What
out
is it?
over
Kyle
the weekend.
Irving?
Kyle Irving, Kyrie,
Kyrie Irving, he got suspended 5 games, I think,
without pay, right?
without pay and something else.
What do you think? And then who was the guy that came out, the announcer that
mean-
totally denounced it?
Yeah, he's the guy that started everything. I don't know what sports has to do with what he was talking about. I don't know how those two jive together? What happened?
I think it's just because the head commissioner of NBA, I think he's Jewish, Adam Silver,
And he tweeted.
and
Is that was a mistake? He tweeted out because Twitter now you're able to say what you want to say.
Right, because it has a new owner, right?
Because Musk is, he doesn't want to police, he wants to uphold the Second Amendment. But it's not Stern. Whoever the hell was the basketball thought that it was offensive. But this is not the first time. What about the principal?
Well, I'm just glad that they actually, if they're going to suspend someone for preaching hate, that they took the money away, unlike what they did with Kanye and they paid the guy off.
well, there's a difference between what Kanye did and what Kyrie did. Because Kyrie, all he did was just like a movie that was talking about how who the original people were of.
He didn't like something in the story, or he said something about the story that was written.
Didn't he come out and say that the only original Jewish people are of black color and white Jews don't exist, type of thing?
That's I don't know what the movie about, but that's
Oh, but
kind
it was
of
in
what the
context to the movie?
tendency. That's kind of the tendencies of what everyone's saying the movie is about.
I don't even know what the movie's about. I don't even know the name of the movie.
What was the movie? Anyone know?
I don't know.
The interesting thing is, if you go back to original Judaism, again, in the Middle East, what are we talking about? We're talking about Africa. We're talking about Ethiopian Jews. We're talking about, but where we sit now, every religion has different colors, everything. People are different.
What I don't understand is, okay, you're entitled to color, creed, and all that you want to explain
But you
the
cannot
trail.
denounce the Holocaust.
But I don't understand that the amount of hate that was shown, any people,
So there has to be more to the story.
when they crucified the Catholics upside down for believing in Christ. I mean, I don't even know if that's real or not. I wasn't there, but any people, when you show hate, believe it or not, those chambers, those death chambers are still there.
It had to be bad, right? Because then apparently he offered money to the ADL. So there has to be fault in this someplace.
Yeah, but is he doing it because he wants to play again? Is he doing it because...
No, he just did it because that's his belief. I think they just blew things out of proportion. He does have a following, and when you do have a following, you have to watch what you say and do. Yes, but
a consequence.
he's still that's just his natural belief, and that's his just ideologies and religions. So I don't think there's an extent to it. I think they did blow it out a little bit of proportion, though.
Well, a lot of people don't like him either.
He does have strange beliefs in some
I don't know.
things.
Hate crimes, you can't denounce things that happen. You can't denounce the Holocaust. You can't denounce
Well,
slavery. You can't.
Well, hold on a second.
you can't-
You can have your feelings about it. Like if some idiot comes
We're
and
going to
says
say
slavery never
you're going to say
existed.
slavery and lynching never happened.
Well, that's the thing. We can attack Kyrie easily, but America doesn't announce the things that they've done bad in the past either.
Taking away the lands from the Indians and how they did it.
Not even just them, everyone, every single culture.
You know, things that happen
Are you
in history.
entitled to have an opinion? Now, you can't say fire in a movie theater. That's a federal offense now.
You're entitled to have your opinion, but you're not entitled to evoke hate and encourage rioting and perpetuate
But
more
I don't
hate
think
in
he
the
did
world.
that. I don't
He
think
didn't do
encouraged
anything.
it.
All he did, he just liked the movie.
Right.
No, that was
said
it. He didn't say anything.
He just liked the movie, and then the media comes up and they interview him, and the questions that they ask him, all he says is just, "It's just what I believe," and then they just
Got blown out of
announce what
proportion.
they want to announce.
Interesting.
The news has a very powerful way of changing stories. You know that.
Yeah.
And then apparently I heard something happen there's an ad about DeSantis that's out about the 8th day, and
What is that? I didn't hear that.
apparently on the 8th day, DeSantis was,
Oh, he's Christ now. He's a Messiah.
apparently that's a whole thing.
He's the coming of the world.
Florida so bad.
I got to tell you, all I can tell you, if Chelsea says I got to go vote, I don't know the judges, I don't know this. I go, that's okay. What do you know? She says, I know governor, I know. I said there's a lot of educational bonds and housing bonds out there. Go vote for what you know.
And also, don't just look at the front. There's a backside too on the voting. The backside, there's rules and amendments that we can vote for.
Yes.
Amendment 3 is important. It talks about increasing the Homestead Act for those that we consider essentials. work essential people, another 50,000. Florida will lose $80 million if it's approved. I think it's a good idea to give our workers, these special cops, firemen, teachers, workers, that 50,000. Just my belief.
So definitely go.
And Amendment
And
2.
vote.
You know Amendment 2?
I know I voted. I don't remember what was 1, 2, 3.
Every 20 years, they get together, a group of 30
yeah, that-
people chosen by the governor to change laws.
Constitutional law.
So the next one is in 2035, and if you abolish it, we're the only state in the union that does it. Nobody else does that. So that's what
You
they're
don't think
talking
you should relook at your constitution and see how things have changed?
about. I do,
Oh, okay.
but I'm saying that if it's abolished, it'll be with the last one standing when it comes to that.
I went to the park to Sugar Sand to drop off my ballot. The place was packed.
Where'd you go?
Sugar Sand Park.
They have a ballot box there? Oh, okay. Yeah,
I think this one right here at FAU also. Oh my gosh, to see, and I thought
You
it
had
was
to
all
wait
for
online?
voting. No, I had to park my car and stick it in the slot. They made sure I signed it, and they said, thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
Simple. It's nice to see kids out and families out doing sporting events. There was baseball, and there was basketball, and there were voting, and there were people walking through the park. A whole lot of signs everywhere, but it's nice to see that people are out and doing what they got to do. And Chelsea went to vote. She said it was really nice to get back out and vote, to actually go in, get online, see people, and go through what you're able to go through, the rights that we have in the United States to go and show your vote. So
Now,
I'm glad you're going tomorrow.
now you don't have to leave Florida because DeSantis in 2 years will be running for president.
Oh, okay, so I'll leave the United
I was
States.
going to say, just leave the country. and
Just
then-
go to Canada.
Oh, okay.
Now
My
what
son says
happens?
he's going to Israel.
Now what happens when DeSantis and Trumpy baby, the two of
No,
them
no,
run
no,
for
no, no,
president,
no.
and they run for president?
Because he already re-announced that he's rerunning.
Yeah, in
I heard that.
24. So does DeSantis, does he bow down, or does he go for vice president with Trump? Can you imagine Trump and DeSantis in the White House?
I can't imagine.
I'll
the
join you in
memes that'll-
Canada. I'm out of here.
The memes, the political cartoons that will go out. Oh my gosh. I can't
DeSantis can
even.
hold Trump's hair in place.
Now, what can you do about voting? Because you live in Orlando. You got,
I
For-
think I have to do like mail in, but I forgot to do it.
So you can't.
Yeah.
Just drive up to Orlando.
Katie, how about you?
3 hours.
Mail in vote?
She can't vote.
They should
Yeah,
have a
don't
college
you have to be
student
a-
kind of way to vote if you're a college
She
student at
can't
the
vote.
university.
She's from another state.
Mail in ballot.
In Texas.
Mayor, you going?
I just do the long wait. I was looking at the
I don't
candidates.
think it'll be long.
I don't know, because you don't think so? No? I don't know.
I think a lot of people went early. A lot of people early voting was through yesterday. They didn't even really stop it that early.
And did you hear that it's going to take forever to count all these? There was more than ever in the history of early voting in Florida.
Well, I'm sure it goes through this. It's the same ballot that you would do, that you're going to do
but
tomorrow.
somebody's got to
so
count it.
there's a machine that scans it.
And then somebody's got to count it. Let me tell you something. Nothing is foolproof. Those machines jam. There's a little here,
Remember
a
the
little
hanging
there.
Chad?
Oh,
You guys were
please.
in Florida during
Don't
the
make
hanging
me
you
laugh.
live here.
Don't make me. I heard that in
When
New
we
York.
poked
I was like,
them
what?
through, and then there were hanging Chads.
Hanging Chads. Because you used to punch out.
Used to punch the hole, and if the
So
hole didn't
sometimes
get
they
all the way
stayed.
punched through.
That was the Bush versus Al Gore thing.
Yeah.
And they had to
Bush
recount.
won over
Yeah.
the hanging Chad.
It's interesting. A lot of things in politics, but it's nice to see that people are getting back out and expressing their vote. We got
Well,
2 shows tonight.
No, I'm gonna tell you, it's scary. Did you see? George had to pass a law or something, a mandate. You're not allowed to be in your pickup truck with a rifle outside the voting place. Have you seen what's going on? You seen it?
For the Palm Beach Post, they were gonna send me out there to like do polls and like cover that, and then my dad called me. He's like, "You sure you want to do that? Because you know you can get arrested." So I changed my mind and I'm not
Don't
going.
do it. And they had in Georgia, I think it was, guys in pickup trucks and masks, and they were waiting out there. What the hell are you gonna do with that thing? What, are you crazy? You can't intimidate people to vote. That's not right.
Voter suppression. And also in Florida, they did it too. They arrested people for voter fraud because they were handed these voter identifications in the mail by DeSantis, and of course these people that were arrested were of African American descent. So it's
89% it was. And they talked about it that he received the voting card. This is going back in 2019. But he was a felon. So he got the card, but he was a felon. So technically, is he allowed to vote? Nobody knows.
Well, it's interesting because I don't know if they overturn that or not. If you are a convicted felon for manslaughter, right, and then you get out, are you allowed to vote? Your rights have been taken away. But look how many people have been wrongfully accused, and we know that because they are let out. They've lost their lives in prison, but yet they are still not given back their right to vote, even though they were wrongfully accused, spent 50 years in prison.
And you got to fight.
Paid their
You got to fight to
dues,
get it. Yeah. You
but
got to fight
still
to get
come
your
out,
rights.
And do they have the right yet to vote?
They do. If you were wrongly accused, you
They
got to
should have
fight
the
to
right
go get
back
it.
to vote.
Good luck with that. It'll cost you an arm and a leg.
So it's a lot of things that are all messed up. But I can't tell you any other country's better than ours.
At least you get to vote. It may not be the perfect vote, but here you get to vote.
You have that choice. All right, what do we got on coffee news?
He was here. I don't know if he changed these.
He must have, because he came in.
It
Katie, you
says-
saw this at the car wash?
No,
yeah,
it says
I
November
went to a
4th.
car wash and where there was like a whole like a little coffee station. I saw there was like all the thing. I was like, and I looked inside and I saw Don's picture. I was like, bam.
Bam, we got to change that card, actually. We can give him the new ones. I got to give him it to him again.
What is today's date?
Today is the 7th, so that's
so
right.
this is the new one. Oh, look at this. Yosef Shanawis. Shanawis. What's that?
Shayowitz. I think he's a realtor for
He's a broker
Orthodox
associate, yeah.
community.
Very
I've seen
nice.
his trucks
He's
around
new.
town.
On Point Adjustments is new. Speed Marcos de Sosa is new. There's a lot of new people in here. People jumping on.
You got bird talk today? All right. Let's do some horoscopes and get
All right.
ready for some bird talk.
Who wants to go first?
I think Scorpio. She's coming up. Her birthday's 2 weeks, 17th,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
How old are you going to be? 12? 14?
21.
21? Wow, you
21?
can drink.
Wow. Okay, we got to celebrate them.
We have to give you the pre-drink.
Thanksgiving, we celebrate.
The sun returns to your birth sign this month. Congratulations. Providing an opportunity to make a new plan for your life. Oh my God. Oh my God. She's going to do a new plan for her life. Consider one that allows you to manifest something particularly important to you. Do you believe in manifestation?
A little bit. My friend kind of forced me to.
Forced you to.
She's always talking about it, so she got in my head.
Do you allow people in your head?
Only her, really.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
That is a good
An
question.
archaeologist.
Don't know.
You know, it's funny. We've known you a couple of months, and I still don't know what you want to be when you grow up.
I don't know either, so.
Are you trying to find your way?
Mm-hmm.
Did you finish reading that?
Yeah. I'm asking
What
her.
was,
It's her
what was
birthday.
the end of the sentence? Period.
Manifest something particularly important to you.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for the next part.
That's it.
Okay.
It has lucky numbers. You want those?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay, who's next?
Leo.
I already read mine at the car wash.
You feel that others are placing obstacles in the way of what you are trying to achieve. Excuse me.
Is that true?
Somewhat.
You may want to explore what underlying dynamic driving your belief. You may want to explore what underlying dynamic driving is driving your belief. It's driving your belief.
Can you try that again?
You may want to explore what underlying dynamic is driving your belief.
Okay.
You know what that means, right?
Explore your underlying drive.
In other words, you look at things being obstacle in your way, but it's something in you that's creating that as an obstacle. It's really not an obstacle. And they want you to look at what's driving you to believe it's an obstacle.
Your mom says, yay, Astros. Yep.
Astros are winners. Okay,
Virgo?
next. Virgo is not a virgin. Do you have a hard time requesting assistance?
Yes.
Who's the Virgo?
Josh.
You.
The
Is
man
that
who
true?
waited 2 weeks to get his car towed. Yes.
Others might be more receptive right now. So this may be a good time for you to start to practice asking for help. It ain't never, ever going to happen with this kid.
That's not true.
Is it true?
Apparently Siri is talking.
First of all, there's a lot of different ways to answer.
My yours Scorpio too? Taurus.
Taurus.
May 3rd?
Yes.
At the end of
It's Freddie's ex-wife,
Bad juju.
right? Am I right?
period with a capital T.
Right.
At the end of the week, you may encounter someone whose charisma is very attracted to you. Somebody has the hots for you.
Oh, that's nice.
Did you meet someone yet?
No.
Enjoy the
There.
experience, but don't make any serious decisions at this time. So, you know what that means.
Yeah, don't get too committed. Just
No, 'cause
stay
you're
No,
going
don't
on
get
an
committed at
archaeology
all.
dig. You're going on a dig soon, so.
Don't say that when we're talking about love. That changes the whole.
Mm.
Aries, your normal confidence level may be taking a hit right now. Bam!
Magic, manifestation.
Perhaps consider how you might be sabotaging yourself. Wow, where'd that come from? Because of an old emotional wound and how to address it. Somebody quote Pastor Bill. That's all I got to say. Pisces, at midweek you may be feeling particularly emotional. Find a positive outlet for your thoughts so you don't wallow in them unnecessarily. If you can postpone any important decisions, now is the time.
So overall, everyone's having a rocky week. Apparently, someone told me there's a hurricane out there. Speaking
Yes,
of rocky
it's
week,
coming on Wednesday,
another hurricane.
and it's coming right at us too.
They told me it was subtropical storm Nicole, so she's not quite a hurricane.
Oh, it's all Nicole's fault. It's Nicole's fault.
But apparently, yes, it looks like it's going across right through
It's
the
all
state of
Nicole's
Holy
fault.
cow,
It's
where
coming
did
right
this
at
come
us.
from?
It came from Puerto Rico.
So we're all staying here and having a party.
They're saying it's going to be 40 miles an hour on Wednesday.
75.
No, okay,
it
literally
just got
when I was
stronger?
coming in,
And then it comes right back to us.
It's at 75 miles
Well,
an hour now?
Yeah.
Turn into a
when I got
hurricane.
out of the car this morning here, my hair went into like a full rotation of a circle, and I was like, "Is there something coming?"
It's
Yeah, look
supposed
at
to start
this.
Wednesday
I
and
need
Thursday.
I need a flat iron here.
Wednesday and Thursday?
I need a.
Yep.
Oh no!
Wow.
Mm.
Oh no!
So Wednesday and Thursday we may not be on the air.
We shall see.
Yay for finals week! Woo!
I think Wednesday will be fine. I think Thursday's the rough day.
Give us the weather precipitation.
It's like,
It's gonna
And you're
rain
on,
sideways.
Josh.
you
Go.
gotta talk to Linda Summer. It says subtropical, so I don't know what that means.
It means it's not a hurricane. It's more like a.
Hurricane and storm surge watches issued for the east coast of Florida. Did we even know this, by the way?
You know what's fun to do after a hurricane? You go into people's front yards and the not the streets, but their grass and their yards are flooded, and you grab a skimboard and you go skimboarding in their yard.
And you dodge the bullets as the guy who's trespassing shoots at you.
Wow, is all I can tell you.
Now, this is the type of storm that I have a pool party.
This is gonna be a fun storm.
Look at this.
Pool party at Freddy's. What?
Pool party at Freddy's?
That's what
Free
I do.
food?
I have a
What?
pool party. You got to bring a cup. You jump in the pool. You hold it up, and you try
we
to
all
hold on to the
invited?
glass.
Were y'all invited?
Wow.
Yes. I throw your furniture in the pool. You ever done
When
that?
did this happen?
About a week ago.
Oh my gosh.
But they thought it was going to go north because it went north and then came back south.
It goes up and then it comes right back down to us.
I got to tell you, I've never seen the colors like this. And normally now they're very pastel-y colors. Is that because it's subtropical? It's not a hurricane?
With the,
Pink and yellow and
that's why it was
teal.
raining over the weekend. I don't know.
Wow.
It's windy.
It's all I can tell you as well. Let's see which one I always look at. I always look at the...
Or you do it by the colors.
Mm-hmm.
There's something wrong with you.
Right. Let's wrap this up. Bird Talk Radio coming to you at 11 o'clock. Let's see what's going on in the sports scene.
Yes, because the Jets won.
I actually have a new producer coming in the week of Thanksgiving, and she works at FSU. She does sports shows. So she'll be working with
And
us,
she
I
is
think,
dying to come in here.
the
and
month of
set you
December,
straight,
and then she'll be
says.
here for the summer. We'll see. So I was talking about your show. So
Oh,
kind of
you
cool.
didn't say nothing that the Knicks beat the Philadelphia Flyers. Philadelphia, what's the name of the basketball team?
You'll like the jersey I have today then.
Philly? They lost. Can't believe the Knicks beat them. It's the Knicks stink.
I can't believe we got a storm coming.
Horrible.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. Have a great morning, everyone. Stay safe, and we will see you in a little bit.
Don't be late. Don't blow away.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show. My mug is empty, and you know what that means.
I think it means it's time for a coffee refill.
As we prepare for other shows here at the Amp Media Production Studios.
Tune in for more fun and laughs at 12 o'clock for our afternoon show.
And remember to like, follow, and subscribe on our page.
Have a great morning, everyone. Stay safe and be kind to each other.
And don't be late.